Today's a money day for sure. Easy green coming. Easy green to end the week. What's up? What's up? Traders, what's up? Good morning. Welcome back. El Pastor is ready to win here to close out the week. Can you guys feel the green coursing through your veins right now as the market is setting up to reward us for another good night's study session? Coming in feeling good and having the appropriate amount of confidence here to execute. There's a new stock moving up, BMGL. BMGL. Do we add this to the watch list? Perhaps. Today we're going to skip the formalities, all right? Just remember that day trading is risky and copy trading does not work. I do not invest for my subscribers, okay? That's the disclaimer here. Keeping it short and sweet. AFMD, TOPW, AMST, and then let's see here. We'll add this one, BMGL, just in case. BMGL. And there's also a cheaper stock that I think, is that AFMD? I think there's one more that I'm missing here. Let's just double check. CAPS. So there's the watch list. All right, looks good. Five, a little on the higher side, but usually as we get into the open, some of the weaker stocks will kind of just wash out, sell off. All right, looks good, looks good. Well, yeah, so I mean, BMGL already kind of giving back here early. So coming into the main stock for me, AFMD, a little cheaper. AFMD, it's up 128%. And we went from a low of 10 cents up to a high of 26. Right now we are at rest after giving such a solid move. We are seeing a bit of a double, triple bottom down here. And we'd hope that we can retake the VWAP and then slowly do the red to green. Yesterday after studying, I did realize that I'd switched away from one of the hotter penny stocks a little early whilst we were still holding above VWAP, causing me to miss the red to green. So I got to be careful about that, making sure that, despite the first few minutes being bigger red candles, that we're still holding key levels. And so in this case here, if we can continue to hold around 18, even if it pulls back below for a little bit, if we can curl back up and get over VWAP, that'll be pretty good. In terms of the daily chart, AFMD, we recently had a big gap down from 73 cents going back to the 12th, which I believe was Monday. So big sell-off, first bounce since that massive drop. Typically, when a stock does pull back like this, for me, I'm never expecting us to fill the entire gap. So I wouldn't expect this to go all the way to 73 cents. However, we did get to a high of 25. If we can revisit 25, perhaps there's a chance we can see 35.40. So in that aspect, AFMD could have some potential. I'm going to quickly start up my screen recording here so I don't forget. For those of you in MMU, remember it's always a good way to study up, especially since we're going to be heading into the weekend here. Today's Friday. I think today's Friday. Yeah, okay. So AFMD looks decent. 125%, 96 million shares of volume. TOPW, for a quick look at this one, it's up 46%. It's a higher price stock, around 14. We got 14.84 for pre-market highs, but we're all the way down here around 10. This is, the pattern almost looks identical to the penny stock that we just saw. So big move, and now we're kind of consolidating below the VWAP. So, it's a big bear flag here is how I see it. And if we can break to the upside of the channel, especially if we can break and hold, $12, let's say, we can potentially get the gap fill back up into this area here to 1480s. That in itself would be a nice move because it's such a huge area, $2 a share. So TOPW could be interesting. I think this one is a recent IPO, unless it's a recent name change. And all-time highs, we had about 1317. 13, or is that 1320? 1320. And of course, as I'm live, now the lawnmowers are turning on in the area here. Just to get to me here. 3 minutes, 48 seconds. AMST, one of my other top stocks here. This one we've traded before. We do have quite a bit of trend lines here for daily levels. Pre-market high, 504. This one looks decent too, looks okay. 504. Low of the pullback here has been 370 or so, plus or minus. We've bounced up. So a lot of the charts are looking very similar here today. I think it's going to come down to whichever stock is able to break and hold first. Perhaps that's where the volume will go. And then, that may become our main stock of the day at that point. So we'll see. We're all kind of down from the highs, kind of sideways. So the red to green is going to be the pattern here. Small size early. Not looking to be a hero in the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Looking to take it slow. One of the bigger things that I saw yesterday from reviewing, I mentioned a few times, like, hey, this is not our typical hot stock. It doesn't look like the normal aggressive stock that we'll trade. And I still, KDLY, some other stocks, it's like, just leave these stocks alone. Like, just don't even waste time. Big Steve kind of was hinting to that too, which is that, hey, man, I'm thinking about just shutting it down here after CLIK kind of failed and, sold off. If the stocks are just not the ideal stocks, it's like, just especially going through a bit of a rougher patch already, got to be more selective, not even waste time and giving them the chance to get us. So with that being said, here's a 2-minute warning. The thing is that gets me is the optimism and always feeling like I can always just win and be green on everything. But sometimes you just got to be true to the strategy. If the stock isn't quite what we would need it to be, there's no reason that we need to force ourselves to trade it. Like being on the sidelines is part of the strategy too, right? So we can't be overzealous and too optimistic, right? Especially if the criteria is not being met to the fullest. So something to keep an eye out for here for myself. Hopefully you guys also have tips and improvements that you might have wrote down for this new day here today. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Okay, we're looking good. I'm going to pull up the 1 minute chart, 1 second chart rather. Let's see, charting. I'll copy and paste this into a tab and we should be good to go. 10 seconds. I'm going to be watching the penny stock into the open, and I'll keep an eye. I'll rotate over to the others depending on what's moving and what's looking good. But today is green, bro. Today is a green day. Today we end the week with something to smile about here. I can feel the green. Saw the green in my dreams and in my vision. And here we are to capitalize. All right, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Time to rock and roll. Time to win. So we're at 18 cents here to start, right around the support zone. Now we've had pre-market. Back over 18, stuffed. Okay. Slow here. Nothing quick or immediate yet, just a bit slow. $19.4, $19.6. We got TOPW halting down. Tough one there, halting down. VWAP on this stock is 21. This is going to be a big level if it's able to break right away. There is some selling pressure. Watching the pullbacks. Taking 20. The fills are a little laggy, something to keep an eye out for. In case you're using massive size, massive size. I'm only using a couple thousand shares here. Seeing some lag, so watch out. I do like the pattern so far, but not looking to size up just yet. Typically, I'd want to use size here because we're starting to hold above the VWAP. We pushed up nicely. But as we know, the first 2-3 minutes can still be pretty treacherous. Pretty unforgiving. So far, so good. Nice move to fill the gap to the VWAP. Now, will we hold the VWAP and then fill the gap to the pre-market high over time? Well, we see 23, 22.7, 22.7, 22.5, 22. All right, so we're getting into minute number 4 or 5. I'm going to look to put a little bit more size. Big levels here, big levels, big levels. I'm out a little early on that dip. It's gonna give some nice follow through. 23 for the highs there. $24 for highs. Oh, wow, wow. Are we holding? Are we holding 25? That was okay. That was a bit of a bigger push than we've seen. Not bad. We might see a pullback here soon after that big push. The micros are holding super high here. Watching. We might see a retest. Bit of a churn. $32. Bit of a rejection. $32. It looks like it's gonna try again. The micros did pretty good there. Like they're very tight, but they did pretty good. The one at 24 especially erupted. Time. 5-minute candle's gonna finish. Oh my god, man. No pullback. like it's pretty strong. It is beyond strong here. No pullback into that new 5-minute candle. You can't hesitate on any entry on this stock, or else you'll miss the big moves. It's kind of good for the gunslinging trader. I'm gonna chase it. Can we hold 40? I'm chasing it like a madman here. It's tough to keep buying because you know that big flush could come, but it's just going, right? I mean, again, 45, 47. If you're buying every single area, you're doing extremely well. I'm kind of hesitating, knowing that that drop could come. 50 for the highs for the halt here. 50 for the halt. Man, insane move. It's like a stock going from 10 to 20 is the equivalent of what's happening here. Unbelievable strength, similar to the one on Wednesday. So this could be the first big pullback. Or are we holding as well here? 42. Oh, well, I'm going to try to chase 45. Can we hold? Bit of a higher fill there. Yeah, I'm going to get filled 46. Not good. See, I don't want to take it as it's dipping because we could see the flush. All right, I'm going to ease off here. Wait. Just in case. Do not need to see a flush candle. Yeah, this might be it. This could be, it could be coming here, but I want to stay ready just in case. 45. 53 is the new halt up. Yeah, I think this might be it. I'm actually going to try to go short. There's no shares. I try to go short, no shares. It held. Taking the long, tight stop 45. And I got stopped out there. Come to 47. Oh my god, I don't know what my fills, bro. No. Over 50, over 50, over 50, over 50. 51. The halt is 54 now. That short trade would have been a loss of like a cent and a half. 50, we're back below 50. Can we see over 50 again? I could have done better, but some of the areas I'm trying to buy, it's like teleporting up and getting that higher fill. The moment it gets to backside, I do not want to trade it. Like right here, I'm not touching none of this. Not touching anything. Man, it's just you never expect them to go like that, but insane. Literally as if a stock went from 10 to 20 is what that was. We went from 28 to 52 and did like 100% in like 4 minutes. Man, not even the 1 minute, the 10-second chart is out of frame here. Not touching any of this unless it proves it's going to go again, and I'm going to size down this time. This could be interesting. Trying 47 tight stop. There's 46, keeping it tight. Might have been a bluff there on that bounce. We had 40. to 47. Can we break and hold 47 for the retest of 50? If not, do not want to trade it if it's trending down. Yeah, for me, I hesitated. I hesitated a bunch in that push. Like, just kind of a little too worried about the flush coming and not as decisive in a lot of areas, especially 24. I saw that baby pull back in there. Didn't go for it. That one pushed up to 33, and then it was game on from there. So we're seeing a consolidation here for the most part. I think if we break and hold 47, 48, it gets back on track. If not, might still be some turbulence here. Also, the stock was at 20 cents. Again, going back to November, December of last year, I could be using like 80K shares, but trying not to overdo it. Are we holding 47? I'm going to try it again. Tight stops, tight stops. We got to 50 there, but not quite the push through. Again, is it going to try again here? I'm going to take the 1 cent until it gives a bigger boost. Bigger boost over 50, bigger boost, bigger boost, bigger boost. Bigger boost. Not quite. See, and I hold for that boost, break even trade. The 1 cent opportunity is there though. So it looks like a double top almost, rejecting 50, 52 area. Definitely got to be careful here in case it gives the hard flush. $50. Can we hold 50 is the key here. We got to hold 50. There's profit taking, I think. I think people are taking profits. If it can keep holding, we should see a new high again. If we can outlast the profit taking. Aw, come on. Not good. Okay. It's not. That was close though. I mean, that was close. Still here. Not quite though. Trying one more time. Is the third time the charm. Is the third time the charm? Oh my gosh, it is rough here. It's fighting though. It's like battling. It might just teleport to like 55 is what's gonna happen. If we can get a baby pullback. $48. Mm. It's tough here. It's tough. The volume is a oh man, I'm gonna look down at the 5 minute candlestick. It's already at 53. Oh man. Yeah, okay, this is definitely a place for smaller size. It's looking, usually a stock would like reject the level already. So the fact that it's fighting is good, but it's not going. We got 53 right there. That should have been it. 48 to 53, and all I did is look down, look back up. It's crazy. So if we go, the key will be if we can see a baby pullback. If not, it'll probably just go all the way. If it does, to 60. There's 52 again. There's 53, 54. This is big, big here. Hmm. 51, 52. It's still struggling after a valiant attempt there. 54. If it does go, I think 66 would be the target. Still battling though. Okay, can we see anything? 55, trying 55. Well, it should go. Man, it is brutal here. It definitely isn't moving the same. I mean, like we would have thought over 53 right there, we would have. So it's definitely not moving the same, I'd say here, since that resistance at 50. I think I'm just gonna stick to the 10K size, not go back up. Again, a relatively small size here. A little disappointing there though, over 55. So we'll see. It's still fighting, still trying 54. There's 53.5, 53, 51. For us having a candle close above 54, that's not a good sign there. Low is at 48. ACAD. Man. The churn at 50, now the backside potentially, or at least the first major pullback here. I don't even want to look at this. ACAD, $24 stock, 4 million shares of volume. Might be halting up at 24.80. Bro, hesitation is the killer though. Hesitation for me is the killer here. So here's the 1 minute candle to make the new high. I'm not looking to get involved unless we can start to trend back up. But even then, gotta be very careful about this resistance we've been seeing here. I'm really surprised though over 54 didn't like explode again. Like this candlestick here, I would have definitely thought could have kept this going. We had 57. ACAD still going. This could be a good place to walk away. Say it's a decent day. Shut it down. ACAD. I don't know about this one, but it's been strong. How's the volume? It's gonna be high risk, of course. I mean, it's so extended. It's too late for this one for me. The train has left the station. What percent was this? Oh my goodness, 200%, bro. It felt like 5 minutes too, you know. It's 10 a.m. here Eastern time, but this felt like it felt like 5 minutes. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. I'm hesitating in areas, and I'm not even using like massive size. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait around patiently, and not get involved yet. Only looking at uptrends here, not looking to get any backside flushes. Does trading give you anxiety? I'm checking out the YouTube stream here. I'm trying to think about what anxiety means. I wouldn't say anxiety. No, no, no. Not anxiety. I guess when you're trading and a stock is just up so much, at a certain point you kind of expect the flush, and then you become very timid towards buying over and over. knowing that we should pull back. And typically when the move is this strong, you kind of see like a massive red candle. This one actually never gave one. So somewhat of like the equal and opposite reaction. We'd hope not Christmas tree though. Like let's say this red candle here was to flush down. We'd hope maybe like let's say like 39 and then the bounce versus it. We went from 52 to a low 44 in a very tamed manner relative to the move up. So I wouldn't even know if I would use the word fear per se, but like I mean you could be fearful at times, but it's like you're trying to be cautious and you're trying to ease but also press at the same time. Be aggressive, not be aggressive. Push forward, not push forward. And then that can lead to you hesitating in some areas. TSSI, $14 stock. TOPW, I'd hope that one would bounce soon, but also pretty high risk. Nothing seeming. I like AFMD here for the breakout of the bear flag. But it's early in the flag though. Quick scalp there. And break even. Trying to give it that second to get over 46 there, but I don't mind this type of area because this is where, again, we could uptrend, but if it rejects, then that's fine. Again, it's still early in this flag, so it could try a couple more times. And the new 5-minute candle is 2 minutes out. Okay. I think right now sizing down is a smart thing to do for now as well. And then to just be patient. I did have 50K size for max size, didn't try to size up once. I think whenever I'll size up is when I'm just in a better flow, connecting on more of the moves. That's what usually will give me the confidence to go massive size. The OPW looks like it's halting down again. And that one has been rough. It's crazy how, like, I mean it's interesting, right? Which is why though, what in a hot market, right? What makes it a little easier is that the stocks are strong almost every day. So, it's easier to just press forward, right? When you're kind of hot today and then like a little bit chopped tomorrow, like yesterday, for example, CLIK, right? If you missed that red to green on CLIK, there was like nothing there. So, in a hot market, we'll see like an opening move like this every day for like days on end, weeks on end. It becomes nothing to just buy every single area, right? But when it's a little bit more on and off, it's you're like fighting yourself to buy sometimes because the day just before was so cold, right? The challenge of the market, if you're able though to completely flip the switch immediately, then you can do very, very well. I mean, it's tough. I mean, for me, sometimes I'll like, I think Monday, right? Well, is it Monday today where I sized up right away? I'm like, we came in off yeah, I think it was Monday. The weekend we had the news. I think I'm forgetting the name of the stock, but anyhow, it's went from like 5 to 30. I'm like, bro, the moment into the open, something is good. I'm just sizing up, and then boom, halt down. Like, it is annoying sometimes how the market wants to behave here. But I think that's what really gives the confidence in the hot market is just the consistency of the stocks. Yesterday I came in, I look back at the film, it's like, bro, this like if the stock would have went, like I did everything perfectly. Maybe I might have messed up on one or two areas, but other than that, like I was like, well positioned to do well. The stock just failed miserably, right? CLIK. And then you come in today and this one just happens to just go crazy. I always tell myself, for me personally, if I am to capture those small areas early, it makes it easier to keep buying though, because then I have that cushion of like that 5 cent breakout, right? That makes you feel invincible for a little bit, and then you kind of size up some more. If the stock is strong, then you do exceptionally, exceptionally well. If things were to go perfect, if I'm to throw out a number, I'd say I could have made like 9,000, but that would have required capturing every one of those earlier trades to then stay on the offensive later in the move, to have that confidence to say, hey, if I get caught in this big flush, well, I'm just giving back a little bit of profits, versus like going back to flat or red on the day. The mindset is a little different. And even on those days too, there's still risk, because if you happen to be in with your max size and then the flush does come, it's even then you could be up like 6K already, and then before you know it, you're only up 1,500, right? That could happen too. That could happen too. Subtle things based off of experience. What convinced me to keep trying at 50 is that despite the topping wicks early, we kept going, we kept coming, right? We had 55 here, and then we had 53, and then we had a candle close above the level, dip into the exact resistance, and push to 57. Typically, when we're gonna fail at the level, this does not happen. So, that's what kind of got me there to keep trying. The stock sadly did not reward. So normally this would continue. Today it didn't. So I was thinking the halt up 66, the next target. So typically I'd say either we just kind of, come to the level, grind, 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 and then pull down, or the false breakout where we do get to like 55, and then the massive red candle comes in here, and it's like a bull trap, and it flushes from like 55 down to 45, and that's kind of where like, okay. So this red candle here, it's easy for people who are going long to buy this dip again, thinking we're just gonna hold 50, and then it's back down some more. That's at this last flush out here. You know, you could be thinking quick pullback again, bull flag here, consolidation, then the next move again to 60. Instead, it's the depths. So it's a kind of stock where maybe like in the next hour it could be back up, right? So for the people who will go all the way, they'll definitely keep an eye. For me, I'll wait around another 20 minutes. If not, I'm out of here. I'll take the green and then head into the weekend. Like as I'm going through this rough patch, like you know, the days are just so. What I've noticed is that on the days where I would usually do very well, like even a day like a day like today, this stock right here, right? We kind of underperform a little bit for one reason or another. Typically, the hesitation in some of the higher areas where the stock continues, and the red days, I think I still like to think that the red days, whilst they could always be smaller if you're to size down quicker, things like that. For me, I think the red days are still not really a problem per se, right? Again, like going back to what I think I could have done if I was to be extremely well on this stock. You know, if I am up 9K and I'm red 1K tomorrow on something, it's like, you know, who cares, right? But on these green days like this mega stock, it's like a bit of a fumble, is what I'd sum it up as, right? So that for me, that's where like I've realized like the real inconsistency is, right? Like the real imbalance, the real thing that's offsetting the gains. Like the red days, you know, they're sometimes it's a little tough, right? You get caught in a couple of flushes or whatever. Maybe you might even took a bad trade, you held it a little too long. These things can happen. But these massive days that should be massive, I'm not where I would love to be. And that's the freaking thing. And as mentioned, you know, that even the market itself, mm-mm-mm. Day trading, I tell you. So like for me, you know, there's you know, we spoke about it earlier in the week. Like there's no concern, like there's no panic, there's no nothing. You know, it's just a day to day thing, right? Every day we have to come and try to put forward the best trading all the time, every time. Today's Friday, so you know when I watch back this recording on Sunday, what I don't want to do is to look at this and say, okay, Monday I need to go guns a blazing right away, because I kind of fell victim to that this weekend, right on Monday. So it's still gonna be okay. Just take it slow. You know, just wait patiently. Really try to let a stock prove that it's strong, and then try to go from there. Because Monday we can come in and then everything is just halting down and selling off. And we got to be able to have that longevity to outlast the weakness until a strong stock actually comes, which maybe could be later in the morning sometimes. I can trade very well when the market is, when we're seeing a specific type of momentum. And so, you know, also as I mentioned earlier today, when a stock is just not the ideal type of hot stock. So and two of those are going to come, TOPW for me, and then ACAD. ACAD was strong, but I don't know. It seemed a little off, right? The volume a little lighter. It's a little bit more expensive, and I'm already late to the move. Right away, it's just not the ideal type of stock. I need to just leave that alone and just not even bother to be trying to trade 23, 25 area. Like just just leave it alone. So AFMD, we started with this one. We saw the move early, and that's why we're able to at least get something here. I do like this bounce here. It looks good. So I've mentioned I'm here for like another 15, 20 minutes, kind of just seeing what it does. So far, we're curling up. But what I don't like here, and the 5 minute candle is pretty young, but we'll see. I'll wait another 3, 4 minutes before I say. Our volume has been, you know, it's been decreasing, which is not bad per se for the pullback. But once this red to green starts to come, if it does, I need to see big buying volume towering over these red candles here, especially the last 15 minutes. At peak, we had 77 million shares in one candle. Man, my goodness. 77 million. 5 years ago, this would be an anomaly, but today it's normal. We have 3 minutes in a candle, and so far 10 million shares. We need to get to at least like 35 if we're gonna be serious about bouncing. So I'll watch this candle, then the next, then the next 10 minutes. Keeping it simple with the indicators here. I did swing a little bit of this United Health Group. It's down a little bit here so far to start. Let's see, down, then back up, then back down. We'll see how it does. But I mean, you got to be careful with these individual stocks, man. No matter what company it is, it could be tough sometimes. I mean, this one from $600 down to 250. Of course, the CEO did get a let's use the word. What word do we want to use here to keep it PG? What did they say? Unalive, deleted. The CEO did get taken out, but now they're facing some sort of lawsuit here about, I believe it was on Medicare. And this thing from $600 to 250 is like, if you're heavily invested, that you're waking up to a nightmare right there. Over the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna keep an eye on the news and kind of go day to day, and of course good old fashioned dollar cost. I don't really talk too much about like the swing trades that I take, but just kind of mentioning that one there. I try to keep the swing accounts and the regular day trading accounts separated. But what I've noticed though is that over time, as you like make more money, it becomes easier to try things and do things. Like if you don't have any cash to like do anything, then you're just kind of like on the sidelines. But if you have any extra cash, then you can just do something. There's always risk though, right? I was red in some positions before the market did bounce back. So if this is cash that you'll need immediately, it's probably not a good idea. Now we have Tesla at the 350, 340s. You have Nvidia. I mean, it's just insane how some of these companies have bounced back. We have a couple of them that are lagging still, but SPY also doing pretty well. This stuff makes me think that the people who've had money for years, on like decades, like how wealthy are they now? Like if you've had money for so long and this stuff has been happening over and over, and then you even have the real estate and the price is there just astronomical. Anybody who's like a boomer should be well over 8 figures. The younger people now, it's like this stuff is madness, right? The prices. So to get started is like even harder. Maybe it might have been hard then, but it definitely seems hard now. TOPW, some of the guys in the chat room mentioning this one. Perhaps looking for a halt up. SPCE. See, there's a bunch moves. So QUBT, SPCE, TOPW. Some people are probably still watching a dips on AFMD. We don't have a super obvious one just yet. If we do have another one, which one is it going to be to take over as, the stock? QUBT doesn't, I don't know. I don't think that one has it, man. Some, there's going to be opportunities always, but SPCE also doesn't look like it yet, as in the typical stock that I'd want to trade. So I'm like still waiting. They can become that if they start to move more, but I'm still waiting. I think AFMD is looking a little weaker here. This could be a demand zone though, but we'll see. It could be a demand zone. We'll know. We'll know very soon, right? I mean, depends on if it holds up or not. There could be some big whales buying here. There could be. If not, we'll probably sell off here again over time. I don't want to find out, so I want to wait for the uptrend here. If it holds up again, then that could be a good sign, but TOPW's been a tough one. For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It's under pressure here. It's under stress. What's it gonna be? Do we have any big whales buying, or is this just selling off here? So one time I was sitting on this airplane, and for those of you who know, I'm always wearing like the Relentless Trader shirts. In this case, it was the book bag. The logo is on the book bag, and this gentleman sitting to my right, um, he was on the board of a top company back in like 2000, right into like the dot com boom, or before, maybe a little before 2000. And he was telling me like how well their company had done, and it was pretty impressive stuff, man. He said the stock, then they're on the board. They of course have a lot of shares and stuff, right? The stock goes from 5 to 17, has a split, comes back down to like 2, goes up to 20, has a split, comes back down to 5, and then from 5 goes to 1. I think he said like 180 or 170. I mean, at that point, I had to ask him why he's not flying first class. He's like, man, I spend too much money on that stuff. It's like spends like 100 grand a year on just the first class flights. So he's like, he's easing down a little bit. The stock market, what a place to be, even when it's tough. The best place to be on earth. The best job to dang, my vocabulary might be limited here. The best career to venture into. In good and bad. In good and bad. Good times and bad times. Oh my gosh. Like I don't know why. It's interesting that these institutions will Like they who like what gives them the authority to downgrade or upgrade a stock from buy to sell to neutral? Like who in the world would follow that call out, you know? I don't know if I'd want to follow those type of call outs. Like, uh, these are the people trying to take my money, bro. Why would I possibly follow their call outs? If anything, maybe I want to do the opposite of what they're doing or of what they're saying. It's like news would be JP Morgan downgrades company from buy to sell to neutral, whatever. These are the people trying to get us, brother. I need to be more ahead of that call out. I'm reading some of the headlines for AFMD here, and that's one of the ones I'm seeing. If I had listened to that, I wouldn't have even touched the stock today. BMGL, how about that one? High of 57. I'll keep an eye on the dip here, really small size. This one though, pre-market, we had that big push and then sold off. Oh, and I'm gonna miss the dip. Yeah, you know, that's why sometimes I can't pull up the stock on the screen here because the moment I did that, the freaking dip comes and gone. Bro, 35 to 70, man. 65, whatever. That's tough. Hmm. BMGL, does it have what it takes? Does it have what it takes? Yesterday's hike or yesterday's close, 362. The volume on the pullback very light so far. Could be pump and dump. Gotta keep an eye out for that. Yeah, and I'm gonna be out again. That's a joke. That's a good joke. That's my kind of humor right there. For those of you in the chat room. BMGL, not really holding up. Man. All right, okay. Uh ACAD, not much. AFMD, not much. BMGL in the slums. CAPS, not much. TSSI, I don't know about that one. QUBT, man. Only if we can get a stock like AFMD every day. If we get a stock like this every day, we'll all make millions. 5 million a year minimum. Could we see a market that hot where there's a stock like this every? I mean, we've had hot markets, but typically they'll go for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months, and then we kind of slow down. Things will shift. Sometimes it's higher price, sometimes it's lower price, sometimes it's in between. Then you'll have those days where the stock goes from like 10 to 50 to 60 to 70. The craziest one I've ever seen, I think, was back in like 2019. There was a stock. Just imagine how AFMD looks on this front side, but the stock went from like 450 to 80, like 85, without giving a big pullback all the way. Like since then I've never seen that again. Actually, I mean, man, what a day that was. That day I stayed home from classes. Back then I was still in school at the university. I stayed home that day, man. That thing just till 3:49 p.m. I think is when we officially had backside. What I mean, what that was insane. From like 450 to like 80 something. Like just 1 minute green candles and just a few red candles sprinkled, and the stock just kept going. I can't imagine what would happen today if that's to happen. Like, especially if it happens in the middle of like a hotter month, you know? I mean, the traders here for sure probably like, I mean, probably like, $500,000 days, like easily, I think. Not easily, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. I mean, that would be insane. And then you can push the limits with the size, and just, as long as the fills are still good. But anyhows, it's been a decent session. It's a bit of a slow day here outside of AFMD. So I'm gonna take the gains and lock it in. For those of you going the distance, continue to be disciplined, continue to be patient, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Monday morning again for another beautiful day, a beautiful session. I'll do a Q&A Sunday, by the way, this weekend. I'll do it around 4 p.m., 3 p.m., maybe a little earlier, Eastern time, market time. I'll do it primarily for the students, and then we'll answer some questions on the YouTube side of things. We'll fit a few questions in. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green. Pastor is signing out. Early exit today. Yeah, DRUG was pretty good. We had BMR, HOLO, DRUG, um, DRYS, LFIN. I think LFIN was a crypto stock. These things are like delisted. I'm pretty sure. Was it LFIN? Let me see. I don't know why this name came to mind. Maybe it was something else. When crypto first came out, any company, any small cap company that mentioned they're gonna do blockchain, 500% the next day. There's a few that went to like 150, 120, 175. And then of course HKD was like maybe the stock of stocks. HKD actually went to 2,500, although I think the volume was like a little light when it happened for HKD. We've had others too. We've had quite a few, right? HKD went from 10 bucks, 12 bucks. The first day the move really started would probably be considered a 28 from 60. Well, actually that's already kind of high. Yeah, so I guess we'd have to go back to maybe the 22nd from 19 to 70 and then so forth to 198 to 485. But this one was lighter volume though, so I don't know if I'd say this one really was, but there's a few people that did pretty well, of course. And then you had to move back down Christmas tree. This is always tough as a short seller to see that you might have gotten squeezed and then, 3 days stock is just into oblivion. Because sometimes it's so stupid how they move. Like it doesn't make sense sometimes, right? Sometimes the news is bad. It has no reason to go up. You go short and then stock just somehow keeps going when it doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm leaving early because it's been a decent day and I'm out of here. That's pretty much why. GORV. Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. GORV, small size first, could be good here. As I'm rambling. We're seeing the first pullback. I'll do small size first here. 37, 39. Taking the micro, 40. Man, the fill is not good there. See that type of trade there is just tough, man. It's a great trade. That is tough, bro. A great trade idea, but just awful fills there. So I might have to buy the bids. Bro, that's just it's kind of funny how bad that was. So 43. There's a small seller. Okay, we're gonna break that seller. Dang, it's really tight there. Oh, it's pulling back again. Not quite ready. 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. Not bad. $39. I want to be careful of a bigger 5-minute pullback while watching to see if the 1-minute consolidation will hold. As I'm sucked back in, it looks like we might see a bigger 5-minute pullback. Yeah, so the 1-minute pullback is not going to hold there for 39. $32. $32. Did not take me to the depths. 32. It's a pretty lame bounce still. 31. It's maybe backside Christmas tree. We wouldn't want to be pulling it back more than this. This is a massive. Okay. Yeah, this one could be could be done, but we'll see here how it flags. Tough drop there, man. Yeah, this one might be cooked. All right, now I'm gonna shut it out and shut it down. GORV. Maybe I was rambling a little too much earlier. I maybe could have caught some of this nice front side, but all good. We're out of here. Stay safe. Stay green. Pastor shutting it down. Small green day today. Shutting it down. All right. Take care. Stay safe. Stay green.